Hey, what's up, Dean Super Performance with a really dirty phone. I have been slaving away today. I got the other cylinder head. I got all the springs changed out. So these are the old ones. These are the new ones. I just stack them back in the box just to have a place to hold them. They are a little bit of a nightmare because this top hole is quite large for the retainer to sit on. It slops around a lot, so it's very difficult with this style cheap valve spring compressor. So I don't, like I said, I don't do a lot of Hemis, but I got it done. And I got the new gasket on there. I got the cylinder head back on. Put all the new bolts in, torqued them. It's like 25 foot-pounds first pass, 15 foot-pounds out here, then 40 foot-pounds on the M8s or whatever, M12s maybe they are, and 15 again. Then you go 90 degrees on these, and then you go 25 on these. So I got all that done. And I wanted to get the push rods checked, which I did because I ordered the push rod length checkers. So I got this one is for the short ones, and it measured like 638. So it was like 638.7 or something like that. So you call that like a 640, and roughly, or 635. Yeah, it was 635. And roughly 40 thousandths is from what I understand. So these are 675. So it was right at the 40 thousandths mark. Then the longer one, I don't remember the number on it. I had held it, but it had the 40 thousandths, and it came up to like, these are 805 or something like that. What are these? Yeah, 805. So the number was like a 775. No, 765. 755. Somewhere around there. But I know it gave me like a 50 thousandths. So that should be good on the long ones. Should be good on the short ones, and they're the non-MDS Mopar lifters with new trays. They're all in on this side, that side too, hopefully. The new cam is in, the lockout is on it, back together, and the dots are lined up. You can see I put a blue mark out here, and then the cam gear is just covered in oil right now. Let me see if I can. Yeah, you can see the groove, so it's on straight up and down. I made sure I turned the crank so that mark was there prior to taking it apart. And the piston's on top dead center, so I know I'm good. And then you pinch the chain tensioner. I use a piece of welding rod, TIG rod, and you shove it through this hole here, and it lines up with that, and it holds the tension off the spring. Once you get it on, you pop it. Rotated the motor over, I think 2 rotations it was or something, and we're back to lined up, because you can't physically see the dot on the crank pulley unless you take the oil pump off, from what I could tell. So I just made sure everything was lined up nice, straight. But I got all this on. The valve cover is just an absolute nightmare on this side. The back corner, just, they didn't give enough room for the firewall. They could have come, half an inch forward, and it would have had a lot more room to get around all that heat stuff. But this was just a nightmare to get it on and make sure the gasket stayed in it. I'm hoping the gasket stayed in it. So I got that on. It's fully bolted down. So the coil packs are pretty easy to get on. The rest of the stuff is pretty easy to get on that side. I got to put some tape and put the cover back on this side so no dust or nothing gets in there, and then it'll droop over the front. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Saturday. I'll come down. I'll knock out the valve spring on the other head. Get that one on. That one's way easier to get on. So I'll knock out the valve springs. I'll get that one on. I think today's Friday. Pretty sure today's Friday. Yeah, it is Friday. I'm losing it. But I'll get the other head on. You know, maybe get the intake back on it. But get the front cover back on it, and I'll be in good shape. As long as I can seal the motor up tomorrow, I'll be in good shape. For Monday, should have it running, and just got to get a hold of the tuner, Justin. John's on speed, and get with him, and away we go. So for the Hemi Jeep, this Hemi Jeep, we have the other Hemi Jeep outside. Still got to get this heater valve in for Jonathan. The painter's not here. He hasn't been here in a few days. Not sure what's going on with that, but I'll text him next week. We're going to try and put some spacers on the front wheel so that it comes out for the center cap. The bearing cap sticks out too far. So we're going to try, and I think I can get away with about an inch. So I don't think they make a 1-inch spacer, but we'll have to figure that out. He has like 1.25 inch one, I think, is what it is. So might be able to get away with that. I just don't want it to look really weird sticking out, because right now the front wheel is about as tucked as the back wheel. So I guess maybe, yeah, I wouldn't want to do a spacer on the back, but it doesn't look like it'll hit anything. That was my fear, is that it would hit like a fender, but it won't. So we could throw the spacers on here and get the caps on it, make it look good for them. So yeah, for this one, that's about it. Real quick update. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new videos. Hope you had a good Halloween. Leave me a comment. Have a good day.